Teaching number 142. My love descends upon you, to ask you to fulfill the mandates that I have taught you throughout your existence. I see that you are full of grace, anointed and prepared for the fulfillment of your mission, and I want to reap the fruits of the seed that I have given you. I want to enjoy your humility and goodwill. If I have offered you that the world will be full of grace and blessings through your intercession, it is because I have given you power so that you can see your good works multiply beyond this earth. Through your intercession the spirits in need will attain light. Because truly I tell you, that not only is this world going through an era of difficulties and tests for its purification, but also in other valleys there is restitution and pain. Assimilate my teaching, feel my word, just as it is sweet and loving, it is also severe, you must understand and deepen it. Do not let this seed be carried by the wind without germinating in your heart, because tomorrow you will need it. What are you waiting for to govern your life in the practice of my mandates? Do not wait for the tests to touch you, because it would be very painful for you. Do it out of love and conviction, comply with the precept that tells you, love one another. Take advantage of this time that I am speaking to you very clearly and let me guide you. Think that your future will be one of peace, if you comply with my law. Interrogate yourselves, examine yourselves in the light of your conscience, and you will see that I speak to you with justice, which does not cause fear, but which I warn you so that you live vigilantly. My word is food for the spirit. I have spoken to you at all times, in the present, making use of yourselves, I have left this message for humanity. I'm watching over the world while it sleeps. I have appeared before you, and just as in the second era, on the day of my resurrection I ascended before my disciples and they watched me leave in spirit, so now I come to you, full of glory to judge all beings. Today my light bathes all humanity. From nations and regions, your brothers will come to this land in search of my word, when they receive news of these teachings. At that time I will no longer communicate through the human understanding as I do today, and you, the faithful, will teach yourselves to elevate your spirit to commune with me, and you will all show my printed word and the testimony that you have gathered from my teaching. You will tell them that I did not become a man, but that I came in the spirit, and thus I have remained with you eternally. Today that you commemorate my passion, I tell you that I have gone once again to Calvary, that my passion is renewed every moment, that war, sin and materialism form a cross of shame to your God. You, who have understood my word, will join me in a great fight against sin. The spiritual armies have engaged in battle and you will join them. Trials will wake the world. The good news will reach everyone, and they will know that I have come to leave one more testament and to judge their work. I do not want those of you who have heard me to cry later, for not having understood my divine manifestation. Pray, and in your prayer you will receive the light to penetrate this new revelation that I am giving you. I grant you the gift of peace. If you remain prepared, you will spread it in your thoughts and deeds. These precious times in which you gather to raise your spirits and inhabit the spiritual regions from where you converse with me, will not return. Nor will you hear my word again through human channels, after the time appointed by me. Watch and pray and you will see my word fulfilled. I am giving you a new lesson, each of them comes to prepare us for the fulfillment of your mission. You are beginning to understand that you did not come to earth just to preserve your envelope, to accumulate wealth or earn honors. You are not needy on the path of life. If you have believed yourselves to be poor, it is because you have not known how to look at what you carry in your spirit. Will it be necessary for you to lose what you have, so that you know how to value what you had? No, my children, it is better that today that you possess your gifts, you have knowledge of them so that you use them for the benefit of your spirit. If my doctrine seems strange to you, I tell you that you are the strange ones, because both I and my law are immutable and eternal. Every time I come to you I find you more distant, more stained and therefore more lost from the path. Does the way that I now communicate with you seem new to you? It is not new. Did you perhaps want my voice to have been heard in infinity, without the mediation of men? Nor would that form be new. Already in the first era I made my voice heard before the people gathered on the slopes of Mount Sinai, and what happened to that people when they heard the voice of their Father in that way? Their ears, hearts and minds were impotent to receive that manifestation of power, to the point of having to cover their ears so as not to hear, and asking Moses to intervene before Jehovah so that he would stop speaking, because his voice was like the roar of the storm. My voice at that time descended from my spirit to your matter, while now, I am preparing you to rise to where my fatherly love awaits you and listen to me from spirit to spirit. Despite the fact that at all times I have manifested myself full of clarity, because of his materialism, man has doubted. Right there on Sinai, under the sublime trials and manifestations that their Lord gave to the people, those hearts doubted, wavered, and at every step they were willing to turn their backs on the Father. In every weakness of the people the charity of the Lord was manifested, and in the end only his truth shone forth. If I speak to you about my manifestation as a man, I will have to tell you that despite having been announced a long time prior, the world was sleeping and did not know how to recognize me. Since Jesus opened his eyes in this world, until the moment he closed them, while hanging on the cross, my heart was wounded throughout his journey by the doubts of men. They doubted the divinity of Jesus, judging him by his humility, by the poverty of his clothes and his lack of material power and wealth from the earth, and still in his agony, the doubt of those men pierced Jesus' heart, as if each of his questions were darts. How is it possible that his body bleeds as a Son of God? How is it possible for the Son of God to die? 2,000 years have passed for some to understand these lessons, and many more will have to pass for all to understand them. If now someone were to say that I have arrived by surprise, they are not telling you the truth, because I announced to you my new coming and I predicted the signs that I will give you, but if you were sleeping when I gave you the signs, how could you notice them? Just as in the second era my presence was not in the same way as in the first, also in this era my manifestation is different, always being the same doctrine. I have always announced my arrival centuries in advance, to find you prepared, so as not to find your house in disarray and cause you embarrassment with my visit. I wanted you to have everything ready when I arrived, so that when I knocked on your door you could tell me like the virgins in my parable, "Come in, Master, you are welcome to your house." But it has been your doubt that has come out to receive me, doubt because of the form of my manifestations and my communication, doubt before the prodigies that I grant you, which you come to attribute to evil powers, doubt before the poverty and humility of my new servants and the sites where I am manifesting, but I know that after the departure of my manifestation, faith and understanding of it will come, as it happened in past times, despite your coldness, your doubt and your materialism. I come to you because I love you, because I knew that at the time of my new manifestation I would find you like a flock without a shepherd, like sick people without a doctor and like children without a teacher. I come to prepare a portion of humanity to sow the good seed in the new lands, because you have entered a new era, that of spirituality. From now until 1950, take advantage of my word that like a spring pours from the heavens over your heart, store it so that you can deliver it in abundance after my departure, strengthen yourselves in my doctrine so that your spirit will not waver, see that there will be those who have to answer for this teaching before the courts, you will concretize yourselves to say with all truth what I taught you. After 1950 your memory will become clear to remember my teachings, but you will also receive new and unknown lessons by revelation. Someone from the bottom of his heart is telling me at this moment, "Lord, why don't you do those wonders on my path that you did in the days when I began to follow you, if now I find myself more prepared and have more faith?" It is that you have not been able to observe. Nor am I doing now the prodigies that I did in the first era. That time was the time of your awakening to the life of the Spirit, it was of tests and material miracles. Today is the time of spiritual wonders. How could it be possible for your spirit to always be at the same level and that it came to repeat the same lessons? When you came to my presence to hear my word, I did amazing wonders to encourage your faith. Today, that you already have that light, why do you keep demanding what belongs only to the weak? Now it's up to you to do with your brothers what I did with you. Today I teach you my law and I tell you, my peace be with you, as well as purity in your thoughts, so that you listen to what the word tells you on this day. Peace I bring to men who make restitution on earth, some with love, others with pain. I come to uncover before your eyes those blemishes of the Spirit, that your heart does not know, so that you wash them with patience. I also make you feel the great responsibility that you have assumed before my work. In humble and simple hands, but jealous, I have placed my work in the third era, so that with your works you may honor and glorify it. I give you my word in the intimacy of these houses which I call enclosures and not temples, so that they are not confused with those where there are ceremonies and rites. You know that through this doctrine, I am raising in the depths of your heart the true temple of the living God. Each congregation that meets in the enclosures will rise according to their love, their obedience and their goodwill in compliance with my precepts. It is my will that you all work for the greatness of my work, because times of great importance for your spirit are approaching. They are those in which my light, made voice and thought, vibrates from infinity in your spirit in the highest communication that you can reach. You cannot say that at this time the Spirit of the Lord has penetrated the mind of the speaker, because a human being is incapable of harboring what is universal power. It has been a ray of divine light that has descended on the mind of the predestined to transmit my teaching to you. That is how the truth flows through those ignorant lips, and this will be the beginning of the destruction of idolatry and religious fanaticism. These men possess the supreme grace of serving as the seat or pedestal of the divine ray and their mind and their lips as interpreters of the word and, despite this, they must continue to be simple men like the others. Tomorrow these venues will multiply and the crowds gathered in them will listen to the communication of spirit to spirit of the Lord with his servants, without anyone trying to magnify those who serve as instruments of the Lord. I want simplicity in all your works. I am pleased with the humble of heart. Remember that I was born in a stable, among shepherds, because in them I found purity to feel and believe in myself. Still none of you has had a manger as a cradle, but it was your king who had to do it, to give you an example of humility. Why do I come again among men after having given them those lessons of eternal life? Because men have made rights of each of my examples. Feel me, and do not try to imagine me in this or that form, because any of them will lead you away from the truth. As Eternal Father, do not try to imagine me through an old man like the one you paint, because neither time nor struggle leave traces in the spirit of the Creator, since I am above time and not like you, subjected to it. My word will bother men again as in the past, but I will tell them the truth. Without betraying anyone, I said hypocrite to the hypocrite, adulterer to the adulterer, and wicked to the wicked. The truth had been violated and it was necessary for it to shine, just as now when the truth has been hidden, and for this reason it has to appear again before the eyes of men. What do I teach you now? To bless everything and everyone with heart and spirit, because whoever blesses like this is similar to the Father, by letting his warmth reach everyone. That is why I tell you, learn to bless with your spirit, with your thoughts, with your heart, and your peace, your strength and your warmth will reach whoever you send it to, no matter how distant you think they are. What would happen if all men blessed each other, even without knowing each other or having ever seen each other? That perfect peace would reign on earth, war would be inconceivable. In order for this miracle to take place, it is necessary that you elevate your spirit, through perseverance in virtue. Do you think it impossible? How many great converted sinners reached the degree that you call holiness? Those were not originally better than you, but that degree of perfection you have not yet reached. You begin to love, the gift of intuition begins to bear fruit and you already have inspiration, because when I touch you, you respond. Not all doors are sensitive to my call, but those that open are the ones that let my light pass among you. The transformation of the sinner is not impossible. Remember some names of the second era: Mary Magdalene, Paul, Augustine, Francis of Assisi. Why do you only remember those of the first time? These that I mentioned to you knew of sin and even the mire of passions, and instead, now they shine as luminaries in the sky, and as illuminators of men they send their light to you. Only I can reveal to you the unknown. So I can tell you that in vain the men of today try to know the youth of Jesus on earth. They scrutinize and imagine, but only my childhood and the time of my preaching are known. I say to you, Jesus, before rising to announce the kingdom of heaven, learned nothing from men. What did he have to learn from them who in his childhood confused the professors of the law? That time, of which men know nothing, was only a time of waiting. If you learn from me with love in your heart, it is impossible for you to go wrong. Thus I am preparing you. Today some of you come and for you others come and for those, others will come closer. Every day in every generation will feel closer to me, because their spirituality will be greater. Do charity every day, that will be your best elevation towards me. Give, help, console, and that will be your best prayer of the day, because you will speak to the Father with works, not with words, even if they are beautiful in their form but empty in their depth. Pray to me with your thoughts. You do not need a specific place to do it, and the position of your body does not matter. Raise your thoughts to the heights in peace and then wait for my inspiration. What I am going to tell you on this day, not even the prophets know, in my high judgments only I can reveal it to you. Do not be afraid to be unaware of the intimate judgments of your Father, be happy knowing that, as a master, I will always be revealing new lessons to you. How can you think that I want to hide something from you, only so that you do not know it? I love you, and in my fatherly heart there can be no selfishness. If I come close to you, it is to enlighten your spirit so that it can understand and love me. I have come in spirit among you, but not all have believed me, nor have all felt me, many have denied me and others will deny me. If I were to manifest myself in 1,000 different forms before those who deny me, they would not recognize me in any of them, because the way in which they have conceived me has them confused. I have never hidden behind a disguise to present myself to the world, but I have limited myself to be able to be seen, heard, and understood by men. Why do you not advance on the path of your spiritual evolution? Shall I agree to your delay? If you were prepared and I manifested myself in a stone to speak to you through it, even in that form I would be recognized by you. Those who know my essence, will be able to feel me everywhere. On the other hand, those who have forged a false image of my divinity, even if they contemplated me in all my splendor, would not know how to recognize me and would even deny me. What's so strange about me communicating through a man's understanding? I am not hiding, I am present. Whoever wants to try it, cleanse his heart, his mind, and with his spiritual eyes he will contemplate the truth. Nobody like man can reflect the divine spirit. The mind of man is the mirror of divine reason, his heart is a source where I keep love, your conscience is light of my spirit. If you doubt having such great gifts and you feel unworthy of them, it is not your Father's fault, it is yours, because you have not yet understood the infinite love I have for you. See that I have not come to judge you only for your sins, that your stains have not been an obstacle for me to manifest myself before you in this form, but if the men of science tomorrow misjudge these manifestations, it will not be me who they judge but themselves. I formed man with such perfection that contemplating himself he will be able to see a reflection of what his Father is, but man has not known how to look at himself, nor penetrate inside himself, that is why he has not recognized me. In the different eras I have manifested myself to men in unexpected ways. Who would have known that in the second era the promised Messiah, the Son of God, would not even have a humble home to be born in? Who would have known that Mary, the carpenter's wife, would be the mother of Jesus? From my first steps on earth I gave signs of my power, and yet, for many I was not even sensed. At this time I have not come to surprise you. If you had prepared yourselves by transmitting from father to son, from generation to generation, the promise of my new coming, I would have found you awaiting my arrival, but no one expected me. Some of you had forgotten those prophecies, others did not know of them because they were hidden. How few of you searched the firmament and watched the events of the world in search of the signs that were to announce the time of my arrival. However, those who were awaiting my return as the comforting Spirit, feel that the time has come and that Christ has spiritually come to humanity. Others have heard the rumors of my coming and have not believed. Jesus said to his disciples, "Only for a time will I be absent from you, I shall return." Then it was revealed to them that their Master would come on the clouds surrounded by angels and sending rays of light towards the earth. Here I am on the cloud, surrounded by angels who are the spiritual beings who have come to manifest themselves among you as messengers of my divinity and as your good advisors. The rays of light are my word that speaks to you of new revelations, that overflows with wisdom in all understanding. Blessed are those who have believed without seeing, because they are the ones who feel my presence. Watch, because this is the time when temptation fights tirelessly to defeat you. It senses that the moment in which it will be bound is approaching. It has thousands of tricks to separate you from me, but you must pray and watch so that the way to avoid all stalking is revealed to you. I have taught you to know the true flavor of the divine fruit that is the essence of my word. I have taught you the path of virtue and the fulfillment of your spiritual and human duties. That is the way. How could you get confused? Do not run away from trials, learn to face them. It will not be enough for you to close your door to be safe. With the door closed the danger will penetrate. Do not let yourselves be tempted by low passions. Prepare yourselves, because you will be combated with theories that are in the making. Alert, because false prophets will appear. Do not sleep believing that you have won the battle without having yet won the first test. Do not fear the fight, watch and you will win. The spirit is invulnerable, every other weapon is fragile, therefore, fight with the spirit, so that your gaze always contemplates clearly, and you will have the adversary at your mercy, because anger will blind him, because he does not know spirituality. I do not want ministers or priests of spiritualism, I simply want apostles. I don't want you to tell the world that you will be teachers, no, be my good children and through you, I will deliver great teachings. If you prepare yourselves, that time of struggle, instead of pain, will be of recreation, because wonders and prodigies will be seen in it. My word has resounded in the heavens and its echo has been heard in your world. On this day of grace I receive you, you are the infants of Jesus, always small before the greatness of my doctrine. I revive the light of your lamp and remove the thorns that you yourselves have cultivated to make your feet bleed. Receive the balm that heals all wounds and with it stops suffering. Hear me and then analyze my word that I give you with simplicity, but that has a deep meaning. In it you will find enclosed my teaching, which is all love and justice. I have given myself to you by sending you my divine rain. I have manifested my comforting spirit to you, but you have not yet come to understand the meaning of this manifestation and you have prevented it from being clearer, because by misjudging your brothers, you are provoking disunity, preventing or closing the conduit through which you receive my messages. Because there is no union or love among my people, you have been moving away from the source of grace, because you will not be able to affirm that you love me, if you do not do so with your brothers. My laws are just and disobedience to one of them is enough for the world to lose its peace. Greater and more delicate than you have supposed are my laws, that is why the works that men have done since the beginning of humanity, still have repercussions, and extend like a trail that reaches you. Nations are but man-made limitations. Peoples, religions, large or small groups, are outside my laws, ignoring one another, judging the actions of others that it is not their turn to judge. Each one has much to correct themselves, as much or more than what they find wrong in their peers. Men speak of laws, but they do not carry them within their hearts, they do not feel or practice them, the moment of awakening has come for the spirit. I have come to polish the hearts that are like rocks, because they do not shine as they should, like jewels very loved by their Creator. How few are those that I find with true value, but my patience is infinite. I am the Master who eternally teaches, polishes and perfects your spirit. You do not take man as an example of perfection, seek the Father as a model, without getting discouraged when you see that a brother of yours commits a bad deed. Do not let your faith weaken, because all of you are falling and getting up along the path of restitution. Sometimes it is necessary that you begin the walk again, arise and revive yourselves in me. If you lack strength to start your fight, take it from me and rely on your Father. Why have you allowed the fountain of love that I have placed in you to dry up? Don't you know that love is life and redemption? Speak with words of love, spread my precepts and feel strength, because you must know that I have come to restore to the Spirit all its gifts, and the more you work, the stronger you will be. I have come to teach you and want to correct you as well. Know yourselves by penetrating your interior, do not let yourself be fooled into believing that you have come a long way, if you do not first learn to love and forgive. You need to be clean and practice humility, only then can you feel as masters of your gifts, capable of doing great works and going anywhere, then there will be no obstacle that can stop you and all danger will disappear. You will be able to descend into the darkness and you will not be confused, on the contrary, you will shine with greater light and you will be able to rescue those who live there. I have made known to you since the beginning of time these precepts: you shall love God with all your heart and spirit, and, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. The fulfillment of these laws that in their duality come to form one, would fill this world with joy, peace and happiness. If you analyze that for not having obeyed these precepts, man has suffered and has lost his way, then you will be encouraged to start a new life, and you will see that there is much to do in your world and also among your fellow men. Love is capable of igniting faith in a single instant, uniting men, awakening in them many faculties that are asleep today, giving new light to the eyes of the body and spirit. If you carry love in your heart, you will have heaven within you. When the world loves, peace will descend to it, my kingdom and my presence will be in each spirit, and you will be prepared to enjoy the spiritual life, in which you will achieve perfect happiness. How many times will you have to return to earth to carry a body through which the message you bring to the world is manifested more and more clearly? Let your spirit, like a lark, find its spring in this life and enjoy it, and in its pilgrimage find the necessary experience to return to me. While the rich accumulate treasures, which are so short-lived, you must accumulate experience, true knowledge. I want you to form homes believing of the only God, homes that are temples where love, patience and self-sacrifice are practiced. In them you must be teachers of the children, whom you must surround with tenderness and understanding, watching over them, following their every step with interest. Lavish your love the same on those who have been endowed with beauty, as on those who apparently present ugliness. A beautiful face is not always the reflection of an equally beautiful spirit. On the other hand, behind these beings of apparent ugliness, a spirit full of virtue can be hidden, whom you should appreciate. Pray with humility and let my will be done in you, because not always what you ask for is fair, noble or good. There I will be the one who gives you what suits you so that you have a peaceful and happy life. My peace be with you.